Because when you're fully on your path, you can't compare yourself with anybody else because nobody walked your path before. Nobody walked your path before. You're the first one. You're the one that is discovering it, noticing it, and paving it. Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. I have a message for anyone who is feeling lost in life. Like, you're at a certain phase in your life where you're lost. You may feel stuck, you may feel like nothing is moving forward and everybody else is winning, everybody else is getting everything, and you're like, don't know what to do. So, what you really need to know is that you don't need to know what to do. You have to feel lost. You have to feel lost. Because only when you start noticing that your life really sucks at this point, you will start really taking care of it. Like, we don't move things because we're just happy out of nowhere. Happiness is a byproduct of well-lived life. It's not just something that happens. Well, sometimes someone can give something to you and you will be happy. Sometimes someone will say certain words to you and you will be happy. But those are just, spontaneous things that happen, that surprise us. But overall, happiness doesn't just appear, We need to learn to work with our emotions. We need to learn to feel things. Most people just don't feel anything. Most people just walk around not feeling anything, not feeling connected to others. That's why they are so mean and weird with others. Most people don't even feel themselves, so they're constantly poisoning themselves with all kinds of stuff. So if you feel lost in life, actually congratulations, because you've started feeling, finally, that you're not satisfied with your life, that something is wrong, something is missing. Sometimes I read these comments that say, I can't be happy because my life is so miserable. I can't be joyful because my life sucks right now. And I always say back, you don't need to pretend to be joyful if you can't find any joy in your life. You don't need to pretend to be happy if you're not happy. Look, congratulations for being so honest with yourself that you can say, my life sucks right now. And I admit that. I am being honest with myself. This is the reality of my life right now. I congratulate you for that, because you're finally someone who's not pretending anymore to feel what you actually don't feel. And that is a great discovery already. This is the foundation where we start building something new. Okay, my life is not okay. I feel lost. I don't know what to do. There's too many tasks to complete and I don't feel motivated to start anywhere. It just means that you've come to the point in your life where your vision for life has become completely blurry. You can't see things clearly. Why? Because for such a long time you've been just doing things to distract yourself from yourself. You've been never living completely in yourself, most probably since your childhood. And at some point we need to open up our eyes and recognize, oh, it's blurry. Everywhere I look, it's blurry. I don't see anything. That's why you feel lost. You feel lost because you don't see anything. Not even yourself. You don't even see yourself. When you look in the mirror, you see blurry vision. You see only what is wrong and where you feel stuck. So what you really need at this point is to deal with the most discomfortable sensations so you can come across clarity, right? That's what we all need to do. I remember many times when I was feeling like that before I was doing, before I've started painting, before I was doing these videos, before I've started helping others. I was still in sports. I had that dream that I will be a professional athlete, and many times I had this blurry vision, like I felt I want to do it, but at the same time I felt like it's not really the right thing. So when I was looking at other professional athletes that were in the same discipline as I was doing, and I've started comparing myself with them, I always felt like I'm being left behind, like they're already there, so many people are winning and I'm here. And I felt stuck because of that. But I also felt stuck because a part of me kinda noticed it's not my path. I'm being on somebody else's path, right? Because when you're fully on your path, you can't compare yourself with anybody else because nobody walked your path before. Nobody walked your path before. You're the first one. You're the one that is discovering it, noticing it, and paving it. You're the one, right, who's doing all the work. That's why you feel lost. We should feel lost. So then we notice which direction will be the most beneficial for my growth, because you're like a tree growing and expanding right now. If you still feel like this little tiny seed, well, one day you will grow into a big tree. But it will not just happen by itself, it will happen because you will discover a certain direction into which you want to move. Certain things into which you want to invest your time. Certain tasks you will do with passion, and certain tasks you will do just because it's necessary. You will build a necessity for the things you know that need to be accomplished for your own good, for your own growth, for your own discovery. And it's something that just no one else can give you. That's why it's so important to feel lost, so you recognize my only responsibility at this point is to notice what's to me a necessity. What is to me a necessity? Is it to be like everybody else? Is this to compare myself with others? Is this constantly distracting myself with my phone and social media and these shorts that are killing your attention span? Or is this to set to yourself deep questions like, who am I? Why am I here? What are my natural talents I've been born with? Could I use them? Could I develop them? Could I sharpen my tools? Your weapon is the mind, my friend. Could you sharpen your intellect? Could you stretch it a little bit more? What are the things, the knowledge that you're lacking so it is not allowing you to move forward? You see, we all have this inner dialogue within ourselves that is just a copy of what we've been observing when we were little kids. And most of us have never updated it, never upgraded it. So you may still be talking to yourself the same way your parents have been talking to themselves and between them when you were growing up. Most of these inner dialogues are just not serving you, not helping you to level up your game. That's why you feel lost. You feel lost because your inner voice doesn't see your future, it only sees your past, right? And it awakens some fear like, oh, I will be left behind, oh, nothing moves forward in my life. It awakens a lot of fear, and fear will never turn into faith. if you don't change that inner dialogue. When you change inner dialogue for what in positive psychology they call growth mindset, like you start studying certain subjects that help you to see things from another perspective. Sometimes you need to read a book of autobiography of someone who walked a path that may be similar to yours, someone who had same or similar interests that you have, so you can see what was his perspective, what inspired him or her, what motivated him or her to see maybe you're not a victim here. Maybe the educational system you've been going through was not really helpful to notice who you truly are, and you need some other educational systems. So open up, because maybe the right book is in front of you and you've never opened it. It's so helpful if we know that it's okay to be lost. And it's so helpful to know that our path is really our own. And if you just stop comparing yourself with others. I know it's so hard, but easy to say, but it's just something that we all have to do. Like, if you would take a good quality of time and be with yourself in quietness, you would soon notice there are so many things you want to do. It's not that we don't know what we want, it's that we never take time to really discover what we want. You see, you haven't been born just, you know, like a blank canvas. You were not born just like a blank canvas. You were born as a blank canvas, having infinite potentials of what can be painted on it, what creations can be, you know, painted on it. So you're not just a blank canvas. You're a canvas with a vision, with a potential, with something that can be designed, created. You have this within you, but you really need to take time and notice what you want. If so many people are constantly saying to you what you should do, what you have to do, what is needed, you may completely ignore this very gentle voice that says to you what you need, what is good for you. Because at some point you need to make a right decision instead of easy one. To make a right decision instead of an easy one, where you notice, well, I will buy this, you know, gym membership, I will start working out, I will take care of my diet, I will go and find my tribe. Wherever I can go, I will start exposing myself so I can notice my fears, so I can notice my insecurities, so I can notice what's actually been holding me back so I was not opening up to new possibilities. You see, many times when we find ourselves, like, I'm an introvert and often I felt awkward in social situations. I've shared this with you before. Like, it was even hard for me to you know, to go into a coffee shop and order a drink if I was alone. It was, all these things were so discomfortable to me. But then I've noticed, well, if this is a cause of fear or anxiety, let's see what happens if I actually start doing it. So I've started doing it, and you know, eventually you become more comfortable. Like when I've started painting, many of you know I'm an artist, right? So you can find all of my art on AttractPassion.com. Go and check it out, it's quite inspiring. You can get a copy of it. So when I've started painting, I've noticed, well, I'm not really comfortable with that. I don't know how to mix colors, I don't even know what kind of medium to use, how to mix it, like how to prepare the canvas and so on. But then, as you start practicing it, you become quite comfortable in it, right? So confidence is like a skill. To be confident is more like a byproduct of doing something repeatedly until you build new synaptic connections in your brain, so you can connect, okay, when this happens I do this, when this happens I respond like this. When you don't have these connections, you respond with fear. Fear turns into anxiety and you say, oh, it's not for me. Why? Because I just feel afraid, I feel scared, I feel anxious. But anxiety truly comes out of a lack of certain skill, right? Being social is a skill. Being intelligent is a skill. You become a better observer. Being communicative is a skill. Being a good listener is a skill. Being more content in life, more present in life is a skill. It's not something that happens to us, it is a skill. So learning to find ourselves when we feel lost is a skill. When we actually acknowledge that it's completely fine and okay if you're lost. What's very magnificent about it is that you finally stopped pretending. Because so many people are walking around miserable, but they are hiding their misery behind a fake smile. And it's hurtful to see, especially when you become a bit more empathic, right? It's hurtful to see. How are you? Hey, I'm good, but actually I'm suffering, right? It's very hurtful. So when we start dealing with our own suffering, we recognize those are all suppressed potentials. Suppressed potential turns into pain, and pain turns into suffering if we don't deal with the cause of it, right? And suffering turns into blind vision, blurry vision, and then we say we're lost. So when you find yourself being lost in life, it's actually a sign that you have suppressed potential in you, suppressed needs, suppressed desires. So when will come a time when you will turn inwardly and listen what you need to do, listen what you have to do, listen what would be right instead of easy. And could you do it? So the greatest practice I'm using when I feel like that is that I take a piece of paper and I start asking myself what I really want to do. What I really want to do. And maybe you will notice because of your compulsive behavior, you're just jumping from one thing to another. Like maybe your goal was to finish that book and you've read just few pages. And now you feel like, like you really don't like yourself because you're being so compulsive. Being consistent is also a skill. Like if you don't have a memory of yourself being consistent with something, how can you know how consistency feels like? You only know how it doesn't feel like. Being inconsistent is familiar to you, but being consistent is not. So you don't know what it is. You need to build it up in your system, right? You need to build it like a muscle. The only reason why it's so hard to be consistent with something is that when we feel motivated to do something, we do it. Like you hear this kind of a video and you do stuff, but then after 2 days this motivation will kinda dry out and you will not feel driven anymore. And if you're not used to be consistent in life, as soon as this drive is gone, you will stop doing it. It's because the drive was external. It was never internal. Internal needs to be discovered, it needs to be nourished. It's a fire. In ancient philosophies they said, never allow your inner fire to burn out. You have to nourish it, right? You have to nourish it. To nourish it means you have clarity what you need to do, what you want to do, what's necessary for you to do. And then make sure that every single day you find a reason to do it. You find your own reason inside of you, not on Instagram, not on YouTube, not in your friends and in your parents or family members or anyone, inside of you. What is my reason that I'm reading this book? What is my reason that I'm studying this course? What is my reason that I want to go out and expose myself to my fears? What is my reason that I want to deepen my spiritual connection? What is my reason that I want to grow as a person? What is my reason that I want to become more consistent? What is my reason that I will finish this book? What is my reason that today I will get one step closer to my goals? What is my reason? You need to find the reason, right? Aristotle said, if you practice justice, you will become just. If you practice hard work, you will become hard worker. If you practice consistency, you will become consistent. If you practice self-control, you will become self-controlled. So you only become in life what you're practicing to be. This is ancient wisdom. It can be implemented only by consistent practice. It is not given to us. What's only given to us is an opportunity to choose. You have a choice. You're constantly choosing. You can choose between fear or faith. You can choose between being focused or brain foggy. You can choose between clarity and dizziness. You can choose between anxiety and courage. You can choose. Courage is not being anxious. Courage is being anxious but doing it anyway, right? Clarity is not being brain foggy. It's being brain foggy and dizzy, but taking time for yourself, writing down your thoughts or meditating on it, breathing on it, writing down your needs, prioritizing them, organizing them, and clarity will appear, right? We need to learn to manage ourselves. And once you learn to manage yourself, you will never feel lost anymore, because you will notice there's so much work to do that I just don't know where to start. I just don't know where to start. So start here. Start here right now and you will be good. You will be good, my friend. I will leave you here. Thanks for watching. I hope you found great value in today's video. We are still in a beautiful scenery on a Croatian island called Pag, and it's very beautiful here. I just came from swimming, so I feel good. My friends, stay connected, and thanks to everyone for supporting my art, my paintings on our store, AttractPassion.com, or Etsy store, I Draw My Passion. Thank you so much. And if you will use the code PASSION15 on AttractPassion.com, you will get 15 off on your first order. I truly appreciate you for that. With that, you're supporting this mission. And to anyone who would love to work with me one-on-one, I'm also offering coaching sessions. We still have some available spots, so go and check it out. The link is in the description of this video. If you want to do something with this inspiration, or you may be feeling a bit lost and you just don't know how to organize stuff in your life so you can propel your journey, go and check it out. I would love to meet you. Until next time, my friends, one love.